Hi, my name is Scott Sibley, and I'm an assistant professor at Northern Illinois University. I'm also a licensed marriage and family therapist and also a certified family life educator. And I've been asked today to talk to you more about choosing to love when it's difficult to love or when you don't feel like it. And, I really think this goes back to a lot of what the research is telling us about commitment and couple relationships. It's actually something I am very passionate about. It's my research area is to study, how relationships form and also the commitment that is necessary to make those relationships last. For the past 5 years, I've seen individuals, couples, and families as a marriage and family therapist. At times, I've had the opportunity to work with couples who are on the brink of divorce. There are a variety of reasons why couples come into therapy. There may be financial problems, infidelity, addiction, communication problems, challenging mental health concerns, and the list goes on. I found, though, in the grand majority of these cases, that the divorce does not have to be the answer. I recognize that not all marriages or relationships can be saved, but I believe strongly for the most part they can be and should be. Any relationship, if it is not nurtured and cared for, can dwindle and die. However, when partners are united and dedicated to making their marriage or their relationship work, problems that once seemed insurmountable can be overcome. One of the most obnoxious things I hear as a therapist is the phrase, "we have fallen out of love." For me, this is almost like they're taking their fingernails and scratching them on the chalkboard. It's really hard for me to hear someone say that. I strongly believe that a person does not simply fall out of love, but instead partners make the choice to stop loving each other. They stop doing the basic things for each other that brought them together in the first place. They stop serving each other. They stop expressing love for each other. They stop planning for their future together. Committed relationships, they truly do. They require hard work, dedication, sacrifice, and constant communication. One of the most special moments I have as a therapist is when a couple decides to forgive one another. I believe that so many fights couples have can't be worked out, but it requires each partner being willing to drop their pride, say I'm sorry, and decide to make changes in the way the relationship functions. When individual partners learn to stop pointing their finger at their partner, but instead recognize ways they can personally improve as boyfriend, girlfriend, husband, wife, their relationship can quickly improve. Throughout my education, I have spent a great deal of time, like I talked about before, researching commitment in couple relationships. One of my very favorite quotes about commitment in couple relationships is, "Choose your love, love your choice." Far more than we give people credit for, love really is a choice. Each of us initially have the opportunity to choose the person we will love. Ultimately, if we want a relationship to not only last but to flourish, we have to love our choice. Loving our choice means that we're fiercely loyal to our partner and that we make them a top priority in our lives. It means that we treat our partner with kindness and with courtesy. It means that we'll strive to do the romantic things that we did when our relationship first started out. Often I feel like our society makes the concepts of love and commitment to be far more complex than they really are. I hear this all the time as a therapist and for my students. Each semester I teach many students at the university about human development across the lifespan and a number of other topics. One of the topics that I've taught about frequently is romantic relationships. During this time, it becomes very apparent that many emerging adults, many people truly don't understand that relationships can last. I think this has a lot to do with examples of commitment they've seen in their life from their parents or their grandparents or others in their life that just didn't have a very good relationship. It can almost make you think at times, boy, is this even worth all the trouble? Can relationships really be committed? Can they last? Regardless of what you have observed from your family of origin, though, I'm here to tell you you can still choose to have a successful relationship. It is true that you can't control how your partner behaves, but you, personally, can decide to be the very best partner you can be. One of my very favorite writers about commitment and couple relationships is Dr. Scott Stanley at the University of Denver. Stanley and his colleagues have become some of the most established researchers in the whole world regarding commitment and couple relationships. Perhaps Their most influential work is this idea of sliding versus deciding. It's the idea that when couples are faced with important decisions, transitional decisions in life, when to get married, when to have children, when to move in together, where to live, etc., some people they slide into those decisions while other people make well thought out intentional choices. So, in other words, instead of just saying, boy, we've known each other for about 2 weeks, maybe we should just move in together. It's just kind of the convenient thing to do. Someone that is actually making solid decisions in their life, they really truly think about the consequences of each of those decisions. A quote I really like from Stanley Rhodes and Witten is a research paper that's published in 2010. They said people slide into having sex, people slide into having children, people slide into dangerous relationships. In contrast to sliding, there's strong conceptual reasons to suggest that clear decisions generally build the most resilient intentions. Being intentional in our decision making is extremely important if we want our relationships to last. What are you currently doing to decide to love your boyfriend, your girlfriend, your husband, your wife? What are you currently doing to decide to be loyal to your partner? At the root of commitment, this is another great quote from Stanley Rhodes in 2009. They said, at the root, commitment means making a decision to choose one alternative over others. And in that choosing, one is deciding to give up other alternatives. Deciding is fundamental to commitment. In closing, I just want to say we cannot afford to become complacent in our relationships if we hope for them to be happy and vibrant. I believe that our relationships can become more fulfilling and more satisfying when we look for ways to grow and develop as a couple. In my own marriage, this is something I've seen time and time again where, there's specific areas my wife and I know that we need to strengthen and improve. Each of us can decide to be more invested in our relationships and choose to love the choice that we have made. You and your partner can choose to have a wonderful relationship and be committed to each other. How grateful I am for my wife and that she inspires me to become the very best husband and father that I can be. I appreciate your time. Thanks.